Hello, people. Good afternoon, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Something a little different today. I thought I'd try something new. Things we have learned. What lessons have we learned? What questions needed to be answered? What has been the fallout after Leeds United last night got their promotion charge back on track? Yeah, we got back on track. Leeds United sit back top of the table after Sheffield United lost twice in a week. Yeah. And, of course, Burnley drew at home, away at Derby County. So we're going to get through some things that have maybe been on the tips of tongues over the last weeks or so. I'm going to stop that camera flaking about as well because it's doing my head in as well as yours. So we're going to do that. We're going to go through some things and maybe have a conversation about certain scenarios. What's the best option for Leeds United now? Philip, how am I doing? Honestly, it's the best. I've woke up for a while, didn't sleep well. Like Sonny says, I didn't get off till about 1:30, and then I woke up at 8. Not great sleep, although that's about 7 hours. It's not too bad, actually, is it, when I say it like that? That's all right for me. My sleep's improving since I've slowed down on the monsters, I'll tell you that much. Knocking 4 or 5 of them back a day, bloody hell. Let's not get carried away. No one's getting carried away, Coco, beware. Who's getting carried away? Who is getting carried away? No one. Still 5 games to go, of course. But Leeds United have 3 home games. If you win them home games, if we win them home games, we will be promoted. Especially when Sheffield United have got to go to Burnley. It's all pressure on Sheffield United now, isn't it? After 2 losses in the spin. It's looking spooky for them. We were going through a blip, a rut, and we've come out of the other side. I hope. We've got to follow it up now. But yeah, like you say, Luke, just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moments. Enjoy the moment, because we could lose at the weekend. I don't think we will, but we could, right? So we will be there. Now, what I have done is made some notes. Just 1 second. I'm just getting a call at the minute, and I just want to let this person know I'm just currently live. Sorry, it's just about some help I'm getting. Yes, first time in a long time we did what we had to. Exactly. Paddy Bamford in the final minutes. Amazing. We'll get into all this, yeah. We're going to get into all this. First point I want to go through. I know normally you do it in 3s, don't you? But I've got 6. I've got 6 points. Is that all right? Double dipped. Double trouble. First point. Straight out of the gate, the manager is not racist. Okay? Let's get that one done. Let's get that one boxed off, right? If you needed any more convincing. Also, and I'm gonna look for another word for this. Just 1 second. Let's have a look. Also, Laji Ramazani has not been exiled. Yeah, he's not been exiled. He's not been shunned. He's not been banished. Okay, he's not been any of these things. Okay, he's just not been picked. By that logic, anyone who doesn't ever play football must be excluded, shunned, banished, exiled, or rejected. Yeah? So he hasn't been any of them things. He's just not been picked. I get a lot of people rate him, as do I. But last night was not the time for Ramazani. He will have his moment. Do you remember a few months back, everyone was on about Isaac Schmidt? What's point in buying him? Was a club signing clearly? Farker don't rate him. He just hadn't adjusted to the English game as of yet. But now what? We're nearly at the end of the season and he's being used. And in both occasions now where he's come on off the bench, he's been quality. Last night, he was quality. And he was the right decision to be brought on last night. Look, the manager spoke about non-negotiables. Genuinely, I know you like Ramazani, but who is going to be better when you are holding a 1-0 lead away? Who is going to be better to bring on? Who's going to be better to bring on? Isaac Schmidt. Isaac Schmidt was the right decision at that time. It was the right decision at that time. So that's my first point, first and foremost, is that Ramazani will play. Ramazani will still be at this football club. I've seen some wild takes last week about, and look, again, I'm not taking shots at Ramazani here. Hear me, please, no. But the logic that he's going to go to a top European club after not playing a lot of football at Leeds United in the Championship, if he was to leave, madness. Because, yes, he was playing in La Liga and he got relegated, but no one took him. So why did Leeds United manage to get him in the Championship? Why then, after only playing 700-800 minutes, would a top European club take him? Which is what everyone seems to believe. Largy just needs time. Largy is a top quality player. Largy has had issues previously in his career with maybe his defensive lapses. The manager was clearly frustrated with him after that, giving the ball away, whether you agree or disagree on that. I think he was harsh, the manager, yes. But again, what I will say, and I think Andrea got it right on Twitter, which I saved, Leeds United over Player FC. You know, when people were saying to me in this past week, it's not Farke United, you know, it's not such and such. Well, it's not Player FC, it's Leeds United. Back then and now, side before self every time. The manager is making the correct decisions to benefit the football club. A lot of people disagree, and that's fine, yeah? But the manager, at the business end of the season, this time, and on other occasions, has made the best decisions for the football club. And largely not coming on yesterday was the right decision. Like Sean says, you'd have put Ramazani on. That's your opinion. I think it's the wrong opinion, but that's fine. That's fine. Because in terms of his running, his defensive shape, I thought Schmidt was quality yesterday when he came on. Smitty Kid Williams has just got me another point to add to it as well. Yeah. So, first out of the gate, boom. When Leeds United are winning, it shouldn't really matter anyway, regardless. It shouldn't really matter. But if you genuinely do dislike the manager, then I respect it if you still come with that at this time, even when we're winning. You know, you still come with that energy, and that's fine. Second point I want to make, and it's a conversation, and I think I've come round to that idea after saying he'd be better in midfield. I'm actually now leaning towards Ampadu and Rodon being our best centre-back partnership. Strout gets injured a lot. I actually think from the back, having Ampadu's long range passing gives us more. I think it gives us more. So for me, Ampadu and Rodon is our best centre-back partnership. Now, Yorkshireman, you are correct. Ampadu did get spun by Isidore. I've also seen Strout get spun by Josh Sargent. It swings and roundabouts. That's a good point Solomon makes about Pascal. He's better at set pieces, 100%. But I actually think there's a conversation, because I was thinking about this earlier on when I was in shower. If you did have Ampadu and Rodon at centre-back, because Strout can't be depended on either from an injury perspective, let's be honest. He can't. He's injured 2-3 times a season now. Nearly all the time. You've then got that Welsh contingent as well with Darlow behind him. We'll get onto the keeper situation. But I actually think that's our best centre-back partnership. And also, you can then have Tanaka in midfield and maybe bring in someone then in the January transfer market to play in midfield. Like a Calvin. That's for another day, but like a Calvin Phillips alongside our Tanaka, Ampadu at centre-back alongside Rodon. Or maybe you go for a more progressive midfielder like a Rothwell or someone better than Rothwell that you would be able to attract when in the Premier League. I'd love someone like Decore, who was at Everton. Just absolute box-to-box animal. I actually rate him, you know. Yeah, Nick, exactly. The passes from Ampadu. Quality gives us more range in his passing. And that's just an opinion that I have. I'm a big fan of Stroud. And we need Ampadu on the pitch, of course. And I just think maybe even at Leeds United, we've seen in both instances that if we look back to when we were great, I mean, this is our first clean sheet in a long time as well, I believe. When was the last time we had a clean sheet? Was it Millwall at home? But on the road, it's our first clean sheet, and we were tested. I thought Rodon was back to his best last night. I don't think he's been great the last 5 or 6 Yorkshiremen, but again, it's about opinions. But Philip, like you said, probably Strauch is no better, no worse, but all in all, solid, yeah. But I think there's a conversation to be had looking to the future that maybe Ampadu and Rodon is our best centre-back partnership. But you do lose that set piece threat for sure. Yeah, it's a good point to make. Next point I want to make now. Just before I do, Andy says, not keen on Ampadu. Think we upgrade if we need. Nah, it's quality. I think he's quality. He really gives us some calmness, some assuredness. He gives us fight. He gives us grit. He gives us determination. He's great on the ball. He's great on the ball as well. Maybe Louis, maybe, and that's a chat for another day. But I think right now, and I think this partnership now, I know we've only got 5 games left. We'll probably see us till the end of the season. I think, it'll probably see us to the end of the season. Point 3 now. A draw on the road against teams fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table is not a bad result. A draw, a point on the road against teams like Luton at this stage of the season is not a bad result. We've seen in recent times Sheffield United lose to Oxford. We saw Burnley go to Derby and get a point. We went to Luton. The real issue was that home fixture against Swansea. Go to Luton, playing the way that they do. That physical test, standing up to it, that point does not look bad now. And I will continue to bang that drum. League possession. Look, the league doesn't lie. I get it. But context has to be applied in these scenarios when there's been a change of manager, when there's been an upturn in form, what stage of the season it's at, they're fighting for their lives, etc., etc. Leeds coming to town. All these factors have to be taken into consideration. And I stand by the point that I made the other day after the game, and I understand why people were upset. And I was also upset, but I think I was able to take a step back potentially and go, yeah. So I actually think a draw on the road at this stage of the season against teams fighting for their lives isn't a bad result. Now, in terms of the games that we've got left, if you want my honest opinion, I want it done before Plymouth, because that's a spooky one. That's a spooky one on the final day, at their place. It is. I want it done against Bristol City, and I think it will be done at Bristol City. I said, when I did, predicting the running with Jack, I said the first 4 will be tough, and that includes Preston at the week, and I think we win the game 2-1, but it'll be tight. It'll be nip and tuck. And then I think the next are quite plain sailing for us. Stoke, Oxford. Oxford won't be easy after watching them against Sheffield United, but Stoke, Oxford, Bristol City. I think them 3 games there. And a point at Oxford would not be a bad result. Beat Stoke, beat Bristol City, we're cool. We're cool. Philip, he always does, man. Don't worry about it. Just leave him spout. So, yeah, a point on the road is not a bad result at this stage of the season. Okay? That's point 3. Point 4, we need to have a conversation, I guess, on who starts on the right. Dan James will miss the weekend. You don't want to rush him back. It has to be Willie Gnonto, doesn't it? There will be calls for Largy, but I think that we start Gnonto. I think Gnonto gets a start. Solomon left, Gnonto right, Aronson in the middle. Sean, that's not true. That's not true at all. Stop making things up. He's not been back because Norwich do not have the capacity, nor did they have the money. It's not true what you've just said, mate. He will be back by our manager. Now, who starts on the right? It's got to be Gnonto. It'll be interesting to see in that game. Yeah, Yorkshireman, I was just going to make this point. Who, if Gnonto starts, who looks to the bench? Will it be Schmidt then as well? Or will it be Ramazani? It's going to be interesting. I genuinely feel Ramazani, it wasn't the game for him last night with the situation that we were in. I think Schmidt was I mean, let's be honest, if we're being honest, the manager's substitutions, every single one of them were bang on. So who starts on the right? I think it's an easy pick. And I would say on the right, it will be Gnonto. Yeah. Next point, point 5. Should Bamford be starting games for Leeds United? If you know you can get 90 minutes out of Pat, I would start him. 100% I would. Yes, Solomon. I would start Bamford if you could get 90 minutes of him. I don't think we can. And I think the way the manager's using him up to this point, keep using him off the bench. Now, Pirro hasn't been great. The last few weeks. He still gets involved, but he hasn't been great. And he's got Aronson to help press alongside him. But one thing I will say is no Joseph. Joseph's not ready. I think I might have seen some calls, maybe some shouts for it. He's not ready. If there are still some people banging that drum, I think they're wrong. And again, it's about opinions. Bamford has done more off the bench in these 2 sub-appearances than we've seen from Joseph for weeks, months even. And you agree with what you've just said as well, Ryan, about the game at home against Preston probably suits Largy more. Yeah. So I think I would love Bamford to start if you were able to get 90 minutes out of him. I don't think we will be able to. So with that in mind, I would keep Pirro, keep the faith. He almost scored yesterday. It was a good save, actually, from Travers. But keep managing Bamford like this. And how mad is it? Remember last season where Farker said, if we'd have had Bamford in the running, it'd have been different. Now we all laughed at him. And I don't agree with it, by the way. I'm just saying, but isn't it interesting? Bamford's come back now. I mean, yesterday was quality. And like you said, David, Bamford scored. It wasn't offside. Bamford scored on his 200th appearance. This is the renaissance for Pat. This is the renaissance. This is the farewell tour. John Cena vibes. You can't see me. You know? It was a great goal. The footwork, he's silky. He's always been silky. He's not clunky. Sometimes his touch is a little bit off, but majority of the time when he gets on that left foot, he's able to stroke it. Technically, he's very nice. And his movement's exceptional. And I've criticised him many, many times. And it's not his fault that we're still... Look, if we should and could have replaced him, someone we can depend on. If Bamford was fit, though, boom. Bamford was fit, though, boom. Aaron, maybe. But yeah, are we in a position where we can have a conversation about him starting games? I don't think we're there yet. How long did he play last night? Did he get 30 minutes? Is that 260 minutes? He's probably having to be on ice and that till now in fucking cryo chamber or whatever they call them. But been really, really impressed. Really, really impressed. 0.6. And a bit negative. Tried to keep it positive. But Carl Darlow should have been in much sooner. I also said that, I think the manager will probably realise that now. Thought Darlow was great tonight. He almost had a Meslier moment towards the end, but he was backed by Byron, heading it into touch. But he made a great save. From, I think it was Bergzorg. Bergzorg missed a few last night. But I think for me, Darlow should have been in sooner. Darlow showed what a competent keeper can do. Now, Meslier can be competent at time, but his head's gone, he's young, yada, yada, yada. Mellier's in his final year. Meslier, if a buyer comes, will be sold in the summer. And I still think we improve on it. I've seen us linked to James Trafford. I can't see it, folks. He'll go higher up. But then also in the last few days, to be fair, because I know Newcastle were linked, they've been linked to Aaron Ramsdale. So maybe there is a chance, but I just can't see it. But we do need a new keeper. Darlow, he's okay for now. He's okay for now. And that's all he is, okay. Yeah. But that's where we're at with that. He should have been in sooner. If he'd have been in sooner, and it's all if, buts, and maybes, but if he'd have been in sooner, we probably would have already been up. So yeah, it's a shame that he didn't do that. But it is what it is. And final point before we get stuck into some of your comments. Although the chat isn't as vociferous today, the chat's quite calm. It's nice to see, apart from one. But it's cool. It's good to see. Refs. The standard of officiating in this division is absolutely abysmal. The fact that this referee now, on three different occasions, has incorrectly chalked us off for offside is an absolute joke, an absolute liability, an absolute piss take. I just think at this stage, Sean, I would say the sky's blue and you'd say it'd be green, pal. That's all. So yeah, the standard of officiating is brutal. Imagine last night if we'd have dropped points, if Middlesbrough would have scored, and they did have chances. I was speaking to my Sheffield United friend. He was saying, I hadn't seen the game, but it looks like they peppered you. And I went, but mate, we should have won 3-0. We should have won 3-0, but they did have chances. But the facts are we should have won 3-0. We scored 3 legitimate goals. And that's what's frustrating, because we did score 3 legitimate goals. I think VAR in the Championship may happen next time around, if I'm honest. I think it may happen. We shall wait and see if it does. But yeah, I mean, just seeing that clip from Bam Bam's quality. If you haven't already liked the video for me as well, folks, yes, the Welsh backline should see us through. Yeah, it was great last night. I'm we've the positive fans, the happy clappers, remember? Happy clappers, which is seen as a negative for whatever reason, but the happy clappers amongst the fan base have had it rough and tough for the last 2 weeks, maybe, after Swansea. Yeah, it's been tough. And it's not even about those who have been positive. Fucking hell, it's been tough for all Leeds fans. If you are a Leeds fan, it has been tough. Yeah, for everyone. Regardless of if you're negative and you say, I told you so, we were always going to fumble it, Farker's out. Regardless if you're like, have the faith, Farker can still do this. It's been tough for us all. We all just express it in different ways. So it's nice to this morning to like be able to chill and go, do you know what? We're back on track. We're back on track. And the thing is, I'd have said we're back on track if both of them would have still won both their games. The fact that neither of them won is exceptional. The fact that Leeds United sit top of the table with a far superior goal difference, which in effect works as an extra point, and the fact Burnley have to play Sheffield United, or Sheffield United have to play Burnley at Turf Moor. It'd be mad if by the end of the season it just ends as Leeds, Sheffield United, Burnley, which we called. You know? Sheffield United fans are in meltdown dookie. Some of them are saying Wilder out and that. But again, there's mad heads within every fan base, isn't there? I know the majority won't be saying that. Yeah, they were Yorkshiremen. Yeah, David, maybe Burnley are due a loss. They could go through the season having not lost or not conceded, whatever the record is, and then end up third. How far is everyone off this 90 points as well, Louis? Do you remember the 90-point thing? Someone might not get there. Someone genuinely might not get there. Do you remember a few weeks back we were talking about 116 points? You need minimum 96, all this sort of stuff. I know I've gone right thinking, but it's just whenever I load flash scores up, it does that. I mean, we probably all will get. We're only 5 points off, but you never know, do you? Look at the form. Look at the form in the last two. Sheffield United have lost the last two. That's a madness, against teams they would have expected to beat. Yeah, Sheffield United. Look, Millwall's tough, but at home you beat them, right? We beat them even during our shit run, and they dropped the bollock. Oxford. We did, Dazzy Mods, we did, and that's down to the manager. I think sometimes people think don't ever criticise. It is down to the manager because the goalkeeper situation. Yeah, Dookie. I do think we will. I think being back at home, Preston. I'll come to that garbage in 1 second. I do think we'll beat them. I don't think it'll be easy. I do not think it'll be easy by any stretch of the imagination. You know what Preston are like, the streaky FC. They're up and down like a yo-yo. They've got one win in the last 5. They've drawn the last 2 against Cardiff and Stoke, lost to Derby, beat Portsmouth, drew against Sunderland. They're that type of team. They're up and down. But I do think we'll beat them. I do. Just have to be clinical. Let me qualify this statement. What I meant is, of course, if we'd have not gone up, it's not a good season. But I meant from a points return, you would have still had a good season. 2 things can be right. So, for example, we've scored 80 goals. The closest to us are Middlesbrough with 61. We've scored 19 more goals than anybody else. We've conceded second fewest goals in the league. Burnley have conceded 12. We've conceded 28. Second fewest. We're top for all key metrics. Of course, the season will be a failure, but we just still had a good season. That's what I mean. I'm not saying like, oh, we finished third, we didn't go up. Great season. Two things can be right. I hope that gives you some sort of context as to why I said that. I've checked the games. We have 3 home, 2 away. Sheffield United have 3 away, 2 home. Burnley have 3 home, 2 away. And obviously Burnley's home game is Sheffield United. Massive, massive, massive. No, they're not, and we've already seen that. Just take yourself back to after the draw against Luton, the draw against Swansea, and where this is football. This is why you've got to enjoy your moments. That's what I always say. I'm not one for like last night. I'm calm now. After slept and that, but last night I was. Anybody could have got it, would have got it, should have got it. It was good. My new desk arrived today as well. It's absolutely massive. I'm on this little thing at the minute. It's massive. It moves up and down so I can stand up without having to worry about the camera and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely buzzing. I'm going to do that on Saturday because I'll struggle to put it up. It's massive. So my mate's coming round to help me on Saturday, so I can't wait for that. Big up to Flexi Spot for sorting that out for me. So that's going to be fun. Probably have to switch the background up a little bit because I'm cooped in here, whereas that's going to give... It's massive, the desk, by the way, massive. So much bigger than what I've got now. Which means as well I won't have to watch the game on an angle. It'll all be in front of me, so it'll be better for that as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Things looking up. Leeds United are looking up. For sure. Obviously with the game at the weekend, the fact that James is injured will probably we'll see Nonto go out on the right. We'll have Aronson in the middle. Solomon on the left. He was good yesterday. I've seen some takes that he wasn't good. It's bullshit. I don't understand it. And I think a lot of it is shrouded because they want Ramazani in. Solomon was good yesterday. So Solomon, Aronson, Nonto, Pirro. Then behind him you'll have... Oh, by the way, I just want to chat on Gruev as well. Gruev, for me, I've seen some takes that he was mental. Gruev was good yesterday. Do you know what I liked about it most? And I'm talking about where we talk about Ampadu and Rodon at centre-back as well. Because Strauch's left-footed and Strauch always operates in that left-back position, we very rarely build up in the 3 at the back when he's there. I don't know if... I may be wrong. People who know the game will know much more than me. I don't profess to know it all. But what I did notice yesterday and what I did like is seeing Gruev drop right back in. So he was in a 3. And he was playing some lovely balls into the channel as well. He was playing some balls in the channel. And it was good. And I do agree with what Yorkshireman says, that Gruev was better than Tanaka yesterday. What about Tanaka? Tanaka getting upset. Shows how much it means. Yeah, exactly, Louis. It was beautiful, wasn't it, Louis? It was much better in the build-up phase with Ampadu at centre-back and Gruev dropping in. It was. And like you say, it then enabled... It dealt with the press, which has been a bit spooky for its last few games. It was hard against Swansea. It was hard against Luton. But if you add that extra man in there, Gruev, who's left-footed as well, who can play them balls, you're like a quarterback, Sonny, yeah. It was much better, I felt. Much better. So I actually think from here on in, that's what you're looking at. Obviously, Rothwell, if he gets back fit, Stroud, but I don't think you risk Stroud now. There's only 5 games left, man. How many weeks is left of the season? Let's have a look. Today to the 3rd of May, isn't it? 24 days, man. 24 days. 3 weeks and 3 days. And our fate will be decided. 3 weeks and 3 days. Yeah, we can't let it slip now. You're right, Ryan. Smash the like. Yeah, if you haven't already, smash a like on the video. It's going to be frantic between now and the end of the season. I love it. I love it. Honestly, I do. It's what we're in it for, right? Just looking at it now, we've got Preston at the weekend. I'll be doing a watch along on Friday night as well. Burnley. Hey, Alison. Burnley play Norwich Friday night. Leeds Preston. It's a shame because Sheffield United kick off same time as us on Saturday. So we'll be able to watch that as it goes in. But yeah. So Leeds Preston Saturday. Then it's Good Friday. And on Good Friday, we're back to back, folks. Good Friday I cannot wait for. But we've got Watford versus Burnley, Sheffield United versus Cardiff, Oxford versus Leeds, live instant match reaction. I love it when it's like that, back to back. Self-proclaimed hardest working man in the YouTube game. I'm excited for that. I can't wait for that. Good Friday. And it will be a Good Friday. And then obviously Easter Monday, Leeds Stoke, match reaction, Burnley Sheffield United. And then we just have 2 games left. And again, we get to watch them all. Sheffield United are away at Stoke, Burnley are away at QPR, and then we play Monday night against Bristol City, which I think's a joke, by the way. The fact that we have to play on a Monday and everyone finishes on the Saturday at 12:30, which means that shouldn't be allowed. Like on the final day, we should all be on an even playing field. Like take Sheffield United for example, they play Friday and then won't play again until Saturday. We have to play Monday then Saturday. Fitois, I don't even think it'll be that much. Just because I don't think they will do that. I don't think they will do it. Win our 3 home games, will go up. Because we gave ourselves a lifeline with that win against Middlesbrough. Because it's the Swansea one that screwed us. Because if we'd have beat Swansea and then drawn away at Luton, it wouldn't have been a bad thing. And people would have gone, right, okay, they'd have still kicked off. But it's the fact we had two back-to-back draws. We've won now. That's good. We're back top of the table, which is massive for morale, massive for the fan base, massive for the team, massive for the manager. Imagine, you remember when he said 100% and everyone battered him for it? Again, I didn't know why. This whole thing, Tanaka, this whole thing about him calling Tanaka out and not Mez. Tanaka was crying tonight in the thing, last night, overjoyed with emotion. The manager, what's up with you? And he's like, I don't know, boss. I'm just so happy. You know what I mean? That's not a person who. Last night, Ramazani, whether you think it was forced, whatever you want to do, right? I just see it for what it is. And listen, they will fall out because you fall out with your siblings, you fall out with your friends. If you spend 24/7, it's not 24/7, but you spend all your time, then you're traveling with them, you're sleeping with them, you're playing football with them, and results aren't going your way. People will fall out. It's just what happens in day-to-day life. When people are then trying to create narratives that he dislikes the man, that he's racist and all, it's just crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. That's why the other day when I did that video, I was like, what is going on? Yeah, pause, Tommy. Wondered who'd pick up on that. And all them people that were saying, it's terrible, how dare he do? It's like, what are you talking about? And last night showed that because the 2 players that people were fuming about because he criticised them, and it's because they're some people's favourites. Tanaka was crying, and Largy and the manager were going, way. Together, by the way. And what that also shows me is that they watch, they listen. So some should maybe be careful with what you say because they're clearly watching and listening and seeing and hearing and going, what? They think we're following that? They think that? Well, we'll show them, innit? The manager made a beeline for that. Quality. And it's brilliant. It is brilliant. Yeah, maybe, Lee. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it was, Louis. It was a two fingers that won it, and it was a shush. It's just a shush, wasn't it? It was a shut up to everybody, and that's what it was. It was a shut up to them all. People fall out. People have disagreements. Do what the managers ask, because ultimately he makes the decisions. Do you know what I mean? I liked Gruev's performance. I liked Pat's cameo, but Dan James ran himself into the ground. I was really impressed with Dan James last night. Even like loose balls and stuff. He didn't look tired. One thing I'll say for the manager, he allows players in this squad to play themselves into form, and I know a lot of people want to see it changed and all that jazz, and I get it. But he did great last night. And we're not criticising his subs anymore. We're not criticising the time of him. I hadn't heard that for a while. People are not clamouring for Joseph anymore because the manager's making the right decisions. We are on the larger thing right now, but I think last night the manager probably was vindicated with his decision making. Especially using Schmidt, who, by the way, the manager was taking flack for not using Schmidt earlier on in the season. Do you remember that? Why buy him? Joke. Manager ain't got a clue. Blah, 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 blah. Now he's using him. Because the manager knows and sees these players. The only thing that we can fairly criticise him on, for me, no, but I guess you can fairly criticise him on use of the squad and that, and I have done. But listen, I back the manager. I think he makes the right decision. So more than likely, if he's making a decision, I'll see why and what and try and understand that and go, right, okay, I get it. Like last night, people were annoyed Aronson, but I got it. I'd have given Nonto a shot. I said that, but I got why he went with Aronson, and it was the right decision. He was vindicated for that. And I think he's been vindicated for a lot. You know, let's not forget, like Willie Nonto, for example, wanted to leave, refused to play. This year, he signed a new deal. That's due to the manager. That's not a money. He doesn't, you know. Anyway, we can do that a death. You know where my head is with it. I think he's the right man for the job, and I'm happy again. You know, I'm happy again, and you know it's been tough, hasn't it? As a fan base, especially with everyone taking piss out of us, but we can get our slippers out tonight. But listen, that won't be it from me today either, because we've got the final word tonight. So we're gonna cook. We're gonna cook tonight. That should be fun. Luke, Jack, me, Lockie, and Andrea, full house. It won't be till 9 o'clock though. So we move. But anyway, listen, thanks as always for watching the channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash me a like on it. Subscribe if you're new as well. We 33,800 last night, which is great to see. So thank you for that. Smash me a like on the video. Let me know in the comments as well. Is Ampadu and Rodon our best centre-back partnership? Should Bamford start yet? You know, all these sort of conversations. We'll get into it. But yeah, big up to everyone, and I'll see you in a bit. Love for the love, man. Oh, hang on. Have we missed some super chats? Ethan, we just need 4 wins to get promoted, Joe. And it's my dad's birthday today, and I can't believe I've been a member for 47 months. The longest running. Happy birthday to your dad as well, Ethan. Thank you for supporting me as always, brother. Paul G says, people are up in arms about Schmidt not playing. Now they have moved on. People always think a guy not playing will fix all the problems, 100%. It's always something new in it. There's always a reason. But yeah, thanks as always for watching. Smash a like on the video, and I'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock. Yeah, final word. It's going to be good.